The goal has always been to go to the NCAA tournament. From day one, when you took over the program, you're coming in and you want to implement your standards and what you think, and because I know what it takes to get to the NCAA tournament. You know, I think that we had a great opportunity last year because we had a great nucleus of seniors that had been in the program for 4 years and kind of understood what the demands were to get there. So we come into preseason, we're healthy, we're hungry.
The Dons go to Corvallis as the first shot of the night.
As we started getting into the season, we'd won a few games and we looked pretty good. And then the first conference game was Santa Clara.
San Francisco's got a 1-0 lead. That is the first victory for USF over Santa Clara in program history in their 32nd try.
From then on, I really felt that they were confident and they had that self-belief. And when you have self-belief, you can do anything. We're looking at winning a WCC.
Giroux hanging on to it. Dons go ahead! The Dons take down the 5th-ranked team in the country, the Brigham Young Cougars.
It's USF's mission to put behind the emotion of the Thursday win and come out here like the Toreros are the best team in the country. 13-20 into the overtime, 14th minute.
Short corner.
Whittle trying to punch it in. A header. Goal!
The senior gets the golden goal.
You know, for Sid to get the winner in extra time, put us in first place in the WCC. With 1 to play. I believe going into the Portland game there was pressure on the kids though, you know, because I had a couple girls come to my office early in the week, Coach, we just want to get out of here. You know, I think they just wanted to get to Portland and get the game going.
A conference title is on the line this evening, and San Francisco going after its first WCC title in program history.
You know, I really believe we did everything we needed to do. I mean, we played well, we outplayed Portland on the night in a big way. I thought we hit the post a couple times, missed a couple sitters. It's one of those games, and you know, every coach has played in these games where the ball just wouldn't go in the net.
Allen, here's a low bouncer off the post rebound. Kendrick sends it across. That is in the net.
They scored a fluky goal. It was a defensive lapse on our side. You don't want to go in there and say we need a point, so we're going to sit back, because that's not our attitude here at USF. We're going after people. So we went after them, we pinned them in, we pressed them, and they had very few chances, but with soccer, they converted one of their chances, and we didn't. You do so much and you come so close, and then, you know, you lose it at the end. And it was very disappointing. But all the positive that these kids have accomplished over the last 4 years is really amazing. And I think what they tried to kind of instill in our younger players, you know, look, we were this close. You got to carry the flag, you got to carry the torch, you got to move on. I think from day one here, I want my team to, when people walk off the park, say that's the hardest working team that we played this year. I want them to love the game, enjoy the game, and be hungry to get to that NCAA tournament this year. We want to be good in all facets of the game. And I think to be good in all facets of the game, you have to have the right players on the park. That comes down to my coaching staff, you know, getting out and finding the right recruits and signing the right kids. I've known Paul for about 15 years. He aspires to be a head coach. You know, we just elevated him to an associate head coach here June 1. I think a real big background for him is what he's been doing in strength and conditioning at UC Santa Barbara the last 4 or 5 years. So I think Paul has brought that piece to the team in the spring, and the girls really thrived on it.
Jim's a massive factor. He's got a fantastic reputation. I've known Jim from the past and how he goes about coaching and how he goes about building programs in teams. And it was something that I really wanted to learn, but also kind of help him propel to the next level too, with my experiences with goalkeeping, sports performance. Being a goalkeeper with the last line of defense, the first line of attack is almost an individual position that's mirrored into a team concept. You really have to dedicate yourself, and you have to be a mentally strong person to want to be a goalkeeper. Olivia's going to come in this year, very, very strong goalkeeper, great presence, very good with her feet. I think she's going to compete for that starting spot with Michaela. I think Michaela has a little bit more experience coming in, obviously working with Maddie, playing 7-8 games in the spring, and watching Michaela kind of just build into that and seeing those experiences helped her a lot. I have 100% confidence in both of them. I think it's just a matter of now who's going to hit the ground running in pre-season, who's going to establish themselves with the back four, where you can build that defensive unit, and whoever gets that done first and whoever gets that done quickest will win the starting job.
I think in the back, you lose all those seniors that were such a mainstay. I think Schaefer's going to have to carry a lot of weight this year in the back and clean up a lot of things for us like she's done the last 3 years. The key is we've got to find somebody to play alongside of Schaefer. We get Allison Areola back. She's a stud. I mean, she was one of our best players in the spring. Certainly going to find a home at left back. I think you got Melissa Ellis coming in. She's a beautiful athlete, a lot of experience, great competitor. I think she can win that right back role. But in regards to that center back role, you've dropped Charlie Garcia back there again and playing the spring. She's a good leader. She's been around it. She has a very good understanding of the game. If her fitness level is at a high level, she can compete and play on this team and do an outstanding job. You bring Izzy Lucan at left back, left-footed player, just great desire to compete. Do you give Bella Keane a shot? Big presence, big body. Be interesting to see how Bella develops. There's so many possibilities. So when we get into preseason, we'll play people in different combinations when we have our scrimmages and kind of get a feel of who's more comfortable back there, who's doing a good job. The first time I met Chelsea, honestly, I kind of gravitated where I was like, God, this kid's got a lot to offer. She is all about the player. You know, she wants to see kids thrive. But I think she's got a lot of the foundational skills, how she teaches the game, her midfield presence. I think that'll be what she'll be working on with our players, our midfield. I think Camille's really come along. You know, her alongside of Jess Nakai, Maddie Glazer, and Michaela Mercado. I think the best midfield in the WCC, no doubt in my mind. Just great engine up and down. I think the only player in the history of the USF program that's been first team all WCC 2 years in a row. She can score 8 to 10 goals out of the midfield. We'll go to the NCAA tournament, I think. Michaela Mercado, I mean, just a tremendous year last year. Gritty, determined. She's got to come in, sharp and fit. Maddie Glazer comes back in the spring, did a great job in the holding midfield, owned the position. Got to sit in the middle and make the game for us and make sure that everybody's organized in the midfield. I think she'll solidify her role. Now, there are going to be some new kids coming and want to push her for it. Val Santana, she's been working extremely hard in the spring. I think she's going to find her way on the park. And then you got Sid Ellis, who really had a great spring too, and proud of Sid. She was probably our most improved player in the spring. Christina Krabell coming in. She plays outside. She plays a right back role or up front. Going to be interesting to see how quickly she adapts. All those kids can play minutes in there. Just let the battle begin. Go! Get it done. Let's go! I think the big thing for us this year, in my opinion, is to stay healthy and to get off to a fast start. We've got to be productive up front. We've got to score goals so we don't put so much pressure on our back four. So up front, you know, you got Amanda Whittle. Whittle's, you know, one of the best players in the WCC, I think, up front. Good crosser of the ball, very good one-on-one player. I mean, I just think for Amanda, she's got to be more productive. Sonia Garou has done everything else for us now. Sonia got to score goals for us. But I think those two will provide a lot of experience for us up front. I think Rosie can play up front and the back. Just got to try to find her niche. We may find her home up front as a wide striker, though. Carissa Martine coming back. I'm hoping Chris has a great preseason and finally imposes her will and puts her stamp in on this team. Got a lot of ability, but she's going to have to work hard. Makai Madison coming in. I think she's explosive up front, can get to the end line, get crosses, and beat people off the dribble. I think the biggest message that I'll give to the team is we haven't accomplished anything yet. This program has a long way to go in my book and a lot of growth still out in front of us. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be exciting. A lot of fresh faces, a lot of returning experience. A lot of the foundation has been set. Now these players coming in, they have to push on. And it's a new season. We can't live in the past. We've got to go make our own mark with this 2016 squad that the 2015 squad did.